It's that time of year again where many of us are expanding our smart home. Now, during the year, I get asked a lot of questions on what devices or which platform should I go with, and it's really hard to tell because there are so many different options now available. But in today's video, we're going to do a smart home consultation where I'm going to help a friend who is looking to expand his smart home kind of get the right devices so that everything works together. Now, every smart home is unique, so this will be different for you, but hopefully this gives you a few ideas for your own home. Now, I did tell him if he could grow a beard longer than mine, I'd give him a free consultation, so let's see how it goes.
Check with Brett.
Your beard's a lot shorter than it used to be.
I know, I got like 6-8 inches off this thing.
All right, so I'm here with the Jinja from the Pest and Lawn Jinja.
That's right.
Welcome to the channel.
Slaying lawns.
Slaying lawns. So if you are looking for how to improve the care of your own lawn, check out his channel. We'll leave it linked at the end. So tell me why I'm here.
So I've got problems.
What kind of problems?
This could be a long interview.
A
couple of issues I have, right? I've got a lot of fun stuff in the house. And I've got a lot of people that like to come and go.
Okay.
So I have issues with sometimes where I don't know who's coming and going.
Okay.
So I'm trying to solve that issue.
Great.
The other issue is this is going to sound kind of weird, but waking up in the morning is brutal. So I've discovered that those those lamps that do like daylight, like brightness, really help. But I don't like them when they go from 0 to hero in the morning. You just cringe a little bit and get angry. But I also want something automated to the point where I can set alarms and have it set the time that it's coming properly and have a little bit more use out of it. Okay. But then I have children in the house that don't know.
That is a problem.
They don't know how to turn lights off.
Okay. Yep.
They know how to shut the door in Minecraft.
I know that, yeah.
But for the life of them, they can't shut a door and turn the light off in the house.
Okay, I see there.
It's really annoying.
All right. Well, one of the first things I'd like to talk about then to help understand.
You having a personal problem there, buddy? Can I help you? Okay. Okay.
So one of the first things I like to talk about or ask to help understand where you're currently at is what devices do you currently use? So what phone do you have? Do you have Android or iPhone?
I have iPhone right now.
iPhone. All right. Well,
I don't like iPhones.
We can work with that.
The rest of the world does.
What other smart home devices do you already have in your home?
I've got a Samsung refrigerator.
Okay.
With the Alexa app on it. And I have an Xbox. Does that count?
You can make the Xbox smart.
I saw the options in there.
You can do that.
And I have a Roku.
You have a Roku?
And a Fire Stick.
Okay.
A little bit of an identity crisis.
Okay, well, all those could work. And then I saw you have a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, I don't use it, but I need to.
You don't? Okay. Well.
But eventually I'd like to get cameras up to monitor my lawn. Okay.
So is that the only camera you have so far?
That is the only camera in the entire house.
Oh, okay.
But I do plan on, I was thinking maybe the Wise ones.
Yeah.
Just because of cost.
Yeah, definitely.
They're easy. But for the future, like, this is going to sound kind of weird, but I'd like to have a couple of ways where, especially in my YouTube studio setup, where I can just walk in and say, turn the lights on or turn the studio on. Make it easy.
Yeah, that's nice.
But I'm constantly charging batteries because of all these reviews I'm doing on like lawnmowers. So I'd like to have something where I could be like, hey, can you turn the shed outlet on? You know, to make sure that things are pre-charging.
Okay.
If that's possible. I don't even know if that's possible.
Yeah, you got power out there, so you can add an outlet pretty easy. You can even get outlets that monitor how much power is being drawn from the outlets. You can see when something's done charging.
But I just want to go full Jetsons, you know?
There's the thing now is you can get anything you want under the sun. There's so many different smart products available. You can pretty much get anything you want it to do. So let's talk about speakers. You mentioned how you want speakers and audio throughout the home. What are you thinking there?
Okay. So I've seen a couple of them where you can like video conference from room to room. Would that save me time yelling at my kids in the morning?
Yeah, you can, and you can do that with any of your speakers. You can broadcast a message saying, hey, like you have 10 minutes and we got to go. Or
yeah, because I was actually thinking about doing a room to room. Because then I can set time with lights out and stuff like that. So I'm trying to solve some parenting issues right now as well. Turning off devices, including like lights and things like that, but also helping them wake up in the morning with no excuses.
Yeah, so like bright lights,
but I think
as bright as you can be. Get out of bed.
But I think what I'm afraid of though is introducing these devices with screens on them. That they'll just be playing with them all night.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if going with the screen is the right choice or not. Because I've seen some like Google devices, some Alexa devices with the screens, and they're like, "Oh, new integrated games." I'm like, "Oh, sweet! Another way my kid can stay up till 3 a.m. and not get up."
Yeah, the good news is a lot of them do have parental controls where you can limit that, but that is a good question. So that's where it's like, okay, maybe you don't want the screen and you just go with the speaker. But
I don't know. Maybe we do want the screen because then I could yell at them in the morning and see if they're actually getting up.
You could do that with the speaker too. That's one of the cool things.
I'm kind of an old school parent. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
We go from to yelling in this house.
Oh, okay. We just won't show it on here.
Not all the time, but
okay. So what about like music? How do you ever listen to music, or are you just using your
usually just rap music? You know, just to relive.
It doesn't matter what kind of music. You can listen to whatever you want.
Oh, you can.
But where do you listen to music? Do you listen to it on your fridge now?
I'm kind of weird.
Do you want more?
Everywhere. I'm a little bit of an audiophile, not compared to some of my buddies.
Okay, not a real audiophile, but a real audiophile.
I've got a pretty good ear.
Okay.
But that's my other problem. I'm super picky. Okay. So the speakers that would be provided with the smart devices probably wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. But I'm assuming we might be able to do Bluetooth off of those to get them connected.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of, most of the speakers now support Bluetooth, so you can Bluetooth instantly to them, but they also all connect together. So, so far I'm thinking the Amazon Alexa system, because you can have all the types of different devices. It's listening to us in the background. You can have all different types of devices connected.
Obama, if you're listening, I don't agree with anything he says.
And they can broadcast the same music, streaming high quality to all of your devices at the same time. So you can be upstairs, go out to the shed, and it's still playing the same music if you want.
So I kind of wanted to get some on the pergola outside, but I don't want a receiver out there because of obvious reasons, right? Yeah. So it would be nice to solve outdoor music problems.
Okay.
But also, I really enjoy watching movies with incredible audio. So it would be nice to have something in my bedroom because I don't currently have a TV there. But I was thinking that we could get it connected to the point where in the morning I could listen to motivational YouTube stuff and just have that program to kind of come on or something like that, or hit the news a little bit real quick before hitting work.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'd like to have Bluetooth in the headset and speakers. The room's not that big, so it doesn't have to be crazy.
And do you have a TV sound system yet?
No, I've picked nothing out for that.
Okay.
Just downstairs, which is on the fritz, thinking about going with some Martin.
Is that like a receiver and speakers?
That's downstairs, yeah. Okay.
And then price-wise, you mentioned price. So do you want to spend $3 signs or $1 sign? Is it like, are you looking to spend wise, just get a bunch of cheaper options, or go with more high quality stuff that's going to cost a lot more?
What do you think?
Or a mix.
I mean, you've been around a little while. What are you thinking? Okay. Quality for sure.
Quality. Okay.
I mean, we don't have to do everything at once.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm kind of a weird guy. I'd rather buy once and cry once.
Okay.
That's one way to have to take stuff back over and over and over.
Right. And that's what I like with building your own smart home is you can decide, all right, I'm just going to start with these devices, and then you can easily add later on, or you can go all in and just have it done and then tweak it as you need to.
Now, I will say though, if I can find it with a 3 to 5 year warranty on Best Buy,
then
even if it's garbage, I don't mind.
Okay. I didn't know. Did they have that? I didn't know they had that.
Oh yeah, they're Total Tech.
Okay.
They're Total Tech warranties.
That's cool.
So it works. It's not on everything. They don't offer it on everything, but they will. But if I can find something at Best Buy, I buy warranty. I don't buy item.
Yeah. Okay. we kind of talked about cameras. Any specific things you want your cameras to do?
Oh, my actual video cameras?
Like security cameras.
Oh, security
cameras. Do you want
cameras.
them to just record events? Do you want them to record time lapse of the lawn?
Yeah, so my main concern is quality.
Okay, high quality.
Yeah, night vision would be good.
Okay.
And the time-lapse feature would be legendary.
Yeah, okay.
But again, it would be subject to quality.
Yep. All right, and then let's talk about, talk about lighting in the home. You really focused on having the lights automatically come on, maybe automatically turn off. Where are you looking at all the areas, maybe the bedrooms, living space? What are some ideas that you
Okay,
have?
so you have kids. I know this.
Yes, too many.
Oh,
no,
I love you. I'm fanboying out having you here, right? But they tend to turn on the same lights every single time. Uh-huh. Every single time with their peanut butter hands. Just
yes.
Everything, right? So for me in my house, it's usually the living area that has all the TVs. Mm-hmm. Like hands down, every morning they're going to turn those lights on for who knows what reason. It's not even dark outside.
Right.
Their bedrooms for sure. And honestly, that's about it. Like the rest of the spaces, not that big of a deal.
Okay. All right. So just some simple smart light switches.
But do they have them with timers? Like they do in the bathrooms that make it really uncomfortable when you're mid going to the bathroom and the light turns off?
Yeah, you can. So there's all kinds of ways you can do it. We have ours where in our bathroom, when we walk in, it automatically turns on the light. And then it has a timer where after 3 minutes, it will turn off.
But are we setting our kids up for failure at this point? Like,
maybe.
Are they ever going to learn anything?
Well, my kids are too young where it's not a problem, but maybe yours. We'll have to figure something else out.
Can we leave the fan on?
But yeah, you can do all kinds of things. So
shut up, really?
With each smart switch, you have the option to schedule that itself.
Okay.
Or like I have my Wemo smart switch where if I turn it on, it will automatically turn off after 10 minutes. Like you can set all that up where then you don't have to do anything else after that. But if you do want it on, you can use your voice assistant to turn it on and off. And then you can dim. So some lights, like here, we have these nice can lights. You can get light switches that are able to dim that to a certain level. So in the evening, it's not so bright, or you can have it brighten up all the way. So there are tons of lighting options available. And then the other option is you can get sensors where you walk into the room. We have one in our kitchen where every night you walk in, it automatically turns on a little lamp so that you see where you're going without running into the wall or anything at night. So yeah, all that available.
You're bringing my ADD squirrel moments in. What about doors that lock themselves?
Oh, perfect. Security option. So that's great. You just want it to be able to lock.
Okay,
so back.
I have a home gym. Mm-hmm. I love it. And I get a ton of people, like a lot of my friends that would want to use it, but they don't want to feel like they're liable for, leaving something open or closed or anything. Okay. Plus, on my end, I really want to know who's coming and going.
Okay.
So even though I have a lot of people who want to use it, probably only give it to a handful of people. But it would just be nice, like, say, okay, they have their own code, and then I could get online and go, okay, well, I'm missing a dumbbell or something like that.
Right.
I get online and just say, hey, who's been coming? And then send out a text, hey, does anybody recognize this?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, there are a lot of lock options. One that I've been using currently is called the Eufy Smart Lock Touch. So every time somebody comes, they can use their fingerprint, unlock it, and you can have 99 users on it. And it will tell you who unlocked it. And then
Does it work well when it gets cold?
So far, mine has been working.
I think that's my biggest concern, right? Is fingerprints disappear when it gets cold.
Yeah, there are some little stipulations on the fingerprint, and I've had a friend who the fingerprints won't work for him on these sensors. But for the one I have, no issues. And my favorite thing is it will automatically lock. So I can set a timer where between the hours of 9 p.m. and 7 a.m., if we open the door and come back in, it will automatically lock back up without us doing anything, which is really cool. Some of them have set times, so after 30 seconds of you leaving, it's automatically going to lock, and it will do that all day.
That's a little bit of a nightmare with kids.
Yeah, so I like the one where I can say, okay, in the evening it's going to lock up, but if you had like a gym one, you could have it be locked all day, and then it only unlocks when, you know, whoever's coming will unlock it.
Yeah, because then I can just hit the deadbolt on the inside of the house, you know, and then leave them going to and from the outside door.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Should be cool.
So, speaking of security on the locks, what other any types of security devices would you want? We talked about cameras.
Well, I know
cameras
that
and locks are kind of the
I know
main
that
things.
they have like at-home security.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of having like sensors, but I don't like having traditional alarms where it calls the cops. I know it sounds really weird. Don't rob my house, please.
No, yeah, because most of those do require a subscription service, but we can get like door sensors and even window sensors that alert you if this door was left open or
that'd be great because I have a dog, and sometimes my kids leave the fence open and there's nothing I can do about that.
Okay,
so it'd be nice to know if there is a door open, who's coming and going.
Yeah, and you can have the sensor tell if the door is open or shut, or if it moved. You can even add a dog sensor if you want.
What about integration with the Nest system?
So that's kind of where we go to next. You know, which brands are going to we go with, because some aren't compatible with others. So like Nest it does kind of work with Amazon devices, but they're not fully compatible. So we kind of got to find exactly which devices we want to use and that are going to work together. So just as we talk, you know, I'm right now thinking the first thing we need to talk about is your voice assistant, which currently you're already using the fridge that has Alexa built in.
That's it. Yeah, that's all I have.
So it's kind of nice that we can then just expand upon that with smart speakers. And then with Alexa, they have the option where you can get some of their smart speakers that have the hub support. And when I talk about hubs, that's how you can connect a lot of these sensors. And even it's funny, your fridge says it's a SmartThings hub.
Yeah, it does. But I've heard that term.
But it's not technically a hub.
Oh, too funny. I wondered about that because you have to download the app on your phone.
Yeah, and then you still need a hub that everything can connect to. It like lets you control all those devices, but it isn't something that the devices can connect to. So inside some of the Alexa speakers, they have what's called a Zigbee hub, and the devices.
Royce is snoring, and I can't hear it over the mic.
The smart home talk, so invigorating, you know. Just put them right to sleep. And so you can get those sensors inside the Alexa hub. And then talking about like cameras, you know, I think it'd be great to go with something that is directly supported by them, because they're phasing out the Nest cameras that do work with them.
Oh, interesting.
So Google is. It's not, you know, that's a Google decision.
Classic Google.
So yeah, finding something like Wise. Wise has actually always worked really well with the Amazon displays and pulling up those. And so I think going with that works well. And it's interesting, Wise, even though they're so cheap, they do a lot of things that Google cameras don't do. Like the time-lapse feature, it's manual. You have to go in and set a time-lapse, but it works really great.
That's awesome.
And they are way cheaper versus some of these.
This sounds kind of weird, but I'd like something, because I do a lot on Instagram, just showing people my mowing patterns.
Yeah.
And so it'd be nice to have something that could do that for me, where I could just go in and pick, okay, this week we'll do a time lapse of this.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't have the same great like view that you do. Like out my window is facing westward. But maybe something in the back to show the sunrise.
Right. Yeah.
That might be cool.
Yeah, you can do so many different things. And some cameras are battery powered, so you can have them anywhere you want.
I've heard you could yell at people over the cameras now.
Not as loud as you probably can in real life.
That's annoying.
Yeah. My Wise does have a siren though, so you can push the siren button and it goes, and that's actually pretty loud. It does a good job. So now we got to just kind of figure out all the little intricate details of what's going to go where and what devices do work with each other. So before purchasing anything, we're going to make sure that this device works with that and they kind of all work together.
That makes sense.
It does take a little bit of time, but you know, like the fridge, it says it's a hub, but then it's not really a hub. So you just got to look at the specs a little bit more to find all those details. And then you can kind of go from there and you just start including one device at a time. And then with the voice speakers, so you talked about you like good sound. So you can go with the different Echo speakers. So they just came out with like the Echo 4th gen. It sounds pretty good. You can spend a bit more and go with Sonos speakers. They're compatible with Alexa.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And I have one. It sounds so good. Like it's really good sound. And you can even go, they have a bunch of options. Amazon even has like the studio speakers if you want to fill a room. And I think if you get 2, you can do surround sound with your TV system. So really,
back in the day, this is like 2 years ago, I was really looking at the Iowa Axos. They're pretty cool Bluetooth speakers, but it's more of a kind of a boombox style.
Yeah.
But I like real rich bass. It doesn't have to be like real deep throated, but my mids and tweets have to be like crisp. Like it drives my ears nuts. So I don't think my kids are going to care. That'd primarily be just for me.
Yeah. And that's where you can go, like Sonos has the ARC system, where it's a sound bar that can do pretty much all that. And then you can get the sub, and the great thing is it's all wireless. You just plug it in, it connects through the app, and you get 2 Sonos speakers in the back, and you can add a 5.1 surround sound system without running any wires anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds legit.
Which is one of the systems I've always wanted, but it's something that definitely will do.
Sonos, call him, please.
Yeah, I've been waiting. All right.
Waiting.
So the next thing is we'll go through, kind of walk through your home and see where we want to add what, and go from there. Any other questions? Any other things you want to have done we didn't talk about?
Oh, I'm sure I'll have a pipe dream somewhere that's not possible.
Yeah, and there's always, after adding things to your home a little bit later, you're like, oh, it'd be great if we had this, lights under the stairs or whatever. You can come up with any idea you want and figure it out. There's all kinds of stuff.
What about low-level bathroom lighting?
Yeah, that's definitely an option.
That doesn't blind you when you.
Yeah, so the same room that we have, our bathroom, we have it set where in the evening it will automatically set the lights to a dimmer level. That'd be
cool.
You don't want to blind yourself at night, and so you need to make sure you have dimmable bulbs, and then you can do that. So that's
that brings up a good point, because I think part of the reason why my kids don't go to bed is because these lights are just so bright. They get like supercharged at night.
Yeah, so you can set up different. So talking about the Amazon platform, then we get speakers that are compatible. Then the next thing to do is to connect everything to the Amazon Alexa app. And then sometimes you have to use one app and then it connects to the Amazon Alexa app. And then after that, we'll create routines. So you can ask the voice assistant, it's time for bed, and all your house lights change to set time for bed. Or maybe in the evening, it's getting a little late. In the evening, it's getting a little late. You can have it automatically dim the lights to a certain level. And then when it's bedtime, they automatically all turn off, so you don't have to walk around the house and turn them off. And all your locks lock up, and all the cameras are on, tracking to see if anyone's coming to steal your snowblower, whatever it is. They're gonna, everything's gonna kind of work once you have it all set up, and you're gonna just tweak it as time goes on. We just need to figure out how to get your smart Christmas lights to work with them. He has the best Christmas lights.
It's true.
We're going to leave a link to it at the end of this video to show you some awesome lights that you can get.
They are pretty rad.
So there you go. All right, let's start building.
Sweet. Let's do it. Put Royce to sleep. We're good to go.
So after our conversation, we then took a tour of the home, looking at the different things that he already has, where his lights were at, where different accent lighting was, and other things that might be helpful for his smart home. So then we took a tour, and while we were doing that, I took notes and wrote down drew down a little map of his house to kind of get an idea of where everything was, so that I had a record of it, and then I could tally up what types of switches we need. Now you do need to know there's a few different types of light switches. So you would have the single pole light switch, which is one light switch tied to one light. So if you have 2 light switches, that's going to be a 3-way. So you need to have 3-way supported smart light switches for that light. And then you also have 3-way dimming or single pole dimming. So just make sure you know what type of light switch you are dealing with when you are purchasing your smart devices. In another video, I'll have to go over exactly what devices I would have him use, but this is kind of an overview on how you would want to keep track and start building your smart home. So this is how I did this process. So here is the map of the main kitchen dining area where we were sitting. And you can see that I have these different can lights laid out. And then I did some color coding. So there was a dimmer switch over here for these can lights. Over on these can lights, there was another dimmer switch. And then over here, there was a dimmer switch. And this set right here was actually a 3-way. So there was a dimmer here and a dimmer here. And so we do need to get a 3-way switch that works there. And then here I had other switches, ones that controlled some accent lighting, which I thought would be really cool to have smart to automatically turn on. I talked about the motion sensor we can add to turn on those lights, so that would be really fun. And then there's the overhead sink light. And then we have the front and back door. So those are going to be smart locks that we need. So for this one room, these are different devices that we have or need. So we have the family hub. That's going to be the speaker in the room. We have 2 smart locks, 2 switches single pole, 2 dimmable switches single, and then 1 dimmable that is a 3-way. So that's kind of the main room. Then moving on, we talked about the shed. I think I made another drawing of that at the end, but he wanted a smart outlet there so that he can turn it on from his phone. So that is definitely possible. So then we talked a lot about in the bedroom. So here I have his bedroom. We got fans. He had can lights. So one of the things, and then he had some accent lighting. So I would recommend in his room, he wanted that lighting where it would slowly brighten up in the morning. So what we want to do is put a dimmer switch on the can lights. And then we would also want a dimmer switch on the accent lighting here that we could slowly increase. So then for the fan here, it was just a fan, no light. So what you would want to do is get a fan control here. And so then he can adjust the speed all without having to go up to the fan and pull the thing or whatever. And so that would be cool to be smart. And then he talked about adding a TV in his room with a sound system. So I thought in his room, he talked about having a lot of great sound. I'd recommend having 2 Echo Studio speakers in here. They can be linked together in a group, and that can be linked to a Fire Stick Max. So that's going to be the newest generation of Fire TV stick. And so that's going to offer some great sound. It's able to do some stereo and even some surround sound all around you, which is pretty cool. And those speakers are pretty great. So that's something I'd recommend. In the bathroom, we didn't talk about doing much in there, but I did make notes. He could add a dimmer, a single switch. And then in the bathroom here, there is a fan in there. So one of the things I've actually done in my home, I've added a humidity controlled smart fan. So what happens is the fan will automatically turn off if the room gets too humid, or we just turn on the fan and then it will automatically turn off after 10 minutes. And that's not a smart fan, like it doesn't integrate with the smart home, but it is a cool little device that makes it just nicer to have, where the fan's not left on all the time, or it turns on when the room is too humid and then automatically turns off. So next here in the bedrooms, they just have a single pole light switch with a light. So there I'd recommend adding dimmers in there so they could adjust the brightness. You know, at night you want it to dim down a little bit so it's not so blinding, and then have them automatically turn off. And then he mentioned that his kids like some good sound, but then he talked about how the Echo Show screens might be a little bit too much. And so I'd recommend using the Echo 4th Gen in there. That's this speaker right here. So it's a little bit bigger, has some better sound, but it doesn't have the distracting screen. Now, another great way to go for a bedroom is the Echo Dot speakers. Now, those don't have a Zigbee hub built in, the Echo Dots, but if you have one of these at least in your home, then all the different devices are able to link to that need Zigbee. But the Echo Dots with clock are really cool because they have a clock right on it. It can tell you if the alarm's set, but just not as good of sound if you go that way. And then here in his hallway, he had some 3-way switches, so we'd get some 3-ways there. And then in the laundry room, if you wanted to, we could add a single switch there to turn on and off the light. So then in the family room here, this is kind of his entertainment room. We had a bunch of can lights here, so we would need some smart dimmers there. And then we just need a 3-way switch down here for the stairs. And this place is where we would want to make the lights automatically turn off at night because they're always being left on. And then in here, we talked maybe about a Sonos system. You know, if he wanted to upgrade, he could do that. Since if you go with the like Fire TV stick and the Echo speakers, you can only add 2. But if you want like a more full surround sound, there's a ton of different options. With Sonos, you would need the Sonos, Sonos Arc, and then the subwoofer, and then 2 Sonos speakers. So a lot of speakers, but you're gonna have some really good sound there. And then maybe is what I would do in the family room for a smart speaker is put like an Echo Show 8. That way you do have a screen that's always displaying the time. And if somebody does ring the doorbell, it's going to pop up, since he has a Ring doorbell, it will pop up who's at the door, so you can see who's at the door without leaving the couch and know if you need to get up and answer it or whatever. So that is kind of nice to have in the entertainment room, one of those speakers. And you can, again, use the parental controls to turn it on and off at certain times. So next, on to the gym. In this room, he actually didn't have any can lights, but we talked about maybe we could add some can lights in there and then add a dimmer, just depending on the time of the day you want to brighten it up in there. And then he talked about adding that smart lock here so that you can keep track of who's coming into the gym. And so I think that's a great solution. And then he also had an AC unit. So I thought there might be a way where we could smarten it up a bit with the Broadlink units where they can then turn it into a smart device. And in here, you know, maybe he's always on his headphones. The Echo Studio speaker would be great that could just play and fill up the gym. All right, so next we have outside or in the shed area. So the one thing he mentioned is he did want an outdoor speaker. So right now I can't think of an outdoor speaker that does work with Alexa. So I'm not exactly sure. I'd have to do some research, lots of research on this step. But one option that he could do is get the Echo 4th Gen and get a battery base to it that he has plugged in the kitchen. And then whenever he wants to use it outside, he can just unplug it, take it outside. It has the battery base, so he can set it anywhere. He just can't leave it outside. So that is one option. And then next we talked about the lock on the back door. So we already mentioned that. And then the outlet in the garage, so that would be able to connect to his Wi-Fi and be controlled via his phone to turn on and charge up his batteries just so they're not always charging. He could completely control that from his phone. And then we talked about different cameras. Now he mentioned he wanted high quality cameras, but then some extra features like time-lapse feature. He does a lot of lawn care, so he needs to have some cool time lapses of that. And so this is where it gets hard. I would recommend like getting the WiseCam outdoor battery edition, which is cool because you can place it pretty much wherever you want, but it doesn't have the constant recording. It does do time lapse, but it might not be the best option. So it's easy and affordable to get into using the WiseCams because they need a base station and 4 outdoor cameras connect to 1 base station, but maybe that's not best. Maybe something out there is better, like 2K resolution cameras that are powered all the time and recording everything, but that would cost us to get some more outlets installed. And so it really just depends on what the ultimate outcome needs to be. So we'll have to do some research there. Or if he does have some plugs, he could get the WiseCam V3, which is outdoor compatible. It's weather resistant, and it can be wired and it can record constantly. It can create time lapses and all kinds of things. So a lot of options outside there. And so those are all the different things that he could do pretty easily to turn his home into a completely smart home. Now, does he need every single one of these? No. Does he need them all at first? No. He could just get 1 or 2, see how it works in his bedroom, and then expand over time. But it all just depends on how much he wants to spend and what he wants to do right now. And now with each of these different types of products, there's certainly going to be a lot of research for each of them. Even right now, I was just looking up some of these, to get a dimmer switch that is 3-way compatible, what do you need? Do you need both switches? Where does it go? Does it go on this switch or that switch? So that's going to be a lot of research and just taking a lot of time during the install process. So always buy a little bit more, maybe some other options if you don't know exactly what you're in store for, so that then you can just return the one you don't use. So how did I do? If there are any other recommendations that you would have for his system, please let me know in the comments below. And if you have any other questions about building your smart home, let us know and I'll do my best to answer them down below. Now, if you do want to see more about the Jinja and check out his awesome Christmas light system, make sure you check out that video right here. And if you want to start from scratch building your own smart home, I have a full playlist all about how to do this right here. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.